Beautiful. And if your body wants to move, allow it to move in any way. And I'll suggest maybe just having a little flow with your coming forward, your chest comes forward, and then rounding back. So just if that feels right, just going to inhale, heart comes forward, and rounding back. And it could be the most minute movement. It could be super slow. It could be faster. Just what is your body feeling right now? And as you do that, wherever you are, you can do this on your back, with your knees bent, in a chair, with your feet on the floor. Can I notice more of my body on the earth? And we'll just keep having this inquiry throughout the class. And then maybe just kind of the body wants to just move in a nonlinear way. And maybe let's turn this into a circle in one direction and holding, even you can even bring your hands on the ribs or not. And just kind of notice the circle there. You can give yourself a hug here. And breathing into all parts of the ribs, into the front, back, side, 360 degrees, and go in the other direction. So maybe with a hug, you can not be holding your body. You can bring your hands on your thighs, rounding. You can be in bed with the knees bent. Just tuning into that part of the body. Then we'll bring it back to stillness, but if there's more movement, allow there to be more movement. When eyes open or closed, just get a sense of what's in front of you, to the sides, behind you, above you, below you. And we'll take a little side stretch. So you can do this on your back, taking a side stretch, moving your hands to one side. If you're sitting, you can bring your one hand down, the other arm up and over. And come out a little bit, just feeling those sitting bones. Out. And maybe round down facing, if you're sitting, facing that leg. And then take that hand behind you, supporting your head in your hand and looking up toward the sky any amount. So noticing what is more open and using your hand to come back up. And what's a little bit more contracted this morning with compassion, other side. So taking your arm up, just enjoying that stretch and coming over to one side. Come out of it, just get a sense of those sitting bones. And just notice if there's weight allowed to be kind of transition through the body. And then opening up, maybe, come down first over the leg. Or if you're lying down, you can do this as well. And then opening up toward the spine. Notice what is touching the earth. Notice the texture. Use the support of the hand to come back up to sitting. And just notice the urge, if there's an urge to kind of go forward to the next thing. And wherever you are, can you sit back a little? Kind of feel the support in the back. And then we'll bring ourselves, if you're not on your back, we'll transition onto the back. And you're welcome to stay seated and even come up to standing if you need more energy. So transitioning onto the back. And just allowing yourself to, you can have the knees bent here. And we're just going to just take your legs and just kind of move them from side to side. So again, you can do the sitting. We're just going to take your left knee out to the left. You're on the outside of the left foot and you're on the inside of the right foot. And then super slow transition over to the other side. If you're sitting, you can just notice the feet on the ground and how you transition with the feet as you move to one side. And then the other side. If you go super slow and notice what parts tense up and what parts are involved as you move from side to side. Good. And then coming back with your feet standing on the earth. And if you like, we're going to take your left leg toward the floor. And if you're sitting, just keep it as is. You can keep it bent or on the floor. And we're going to take your right knee in toward you. So if you're sitting, you can just begin to kind of get a sense of that hip flexing in towards you. And we'll reach anywhere on the leg. You can reach behind the thigh. If you have like a blanket or like a little towel, you can bring it behind you if it's not accessible. And we're just going to bring the knee in towards you. At the same time, resist away. So bring it toward you and resist at the same time. And can you breathe into that? So breathe into the resistance. And then we're going to, before we extend the leg, just kind of allow any other parts to relax, soften, or just notice where there's a little tension. And then let's straighten the right leg. So any amount that's straight, and then bending it. So pushing into your hand, or even imagining you're doing it if you're not physically doing it, and putting some pressure as you straighten the leg and bend it. And push away, straightening and bending. Good. And then with the right leg bent or straight, and then the left leg, just get a sense of the leg. So if you're lying down, you might want to raise it up. Just get just kind of feel into the leg energetically. You can energetically with it on the ground, just feel the muscles begin to contract a little bit. So engaging that left leg while we're working the right leg, any way you like. And then we'll straighten the right leg and or keep it bent. And we're just going to move like super slow from side to side. The teeniest movement from side to side. We're working a little bit through the fascia, the connective tissue where we store stress, tension, trauma patterns. And we're just going to allow these patterns to have like a different path, but super, super gently. And so just super gently side to side. And then what else can soften in the body? Even with the energy in the left leg, can it soften and be energized at the same time? And then we're going to internally rotate the right leg. So you're going to kind of take your toe and point it to the left. If your knee's bent, you're just going to kind of bring your leg in, bring your thigh in to the left so that you're so like from the hip joint. So you're turning inward. So if your leg is straight, the heel will go to the right, the toes to the left. It could be very little movement. And then opening up. So externally rotate. So your heel's going to the left, toes to the right. So just kind of in and out from the hip. Super gentle. Hope that you understand. Good. And then let's just bend the knee, and we're going to take the knee out to the right any amount. and then cross it over. So this can all be done sitting as well. So out to the right, any amount, and crossing it over any amount. And let's just let it soften. So let's bring your feet down. You can have your arms open and just notice one side and then the other. And then maybe allow a little movement here, any movement. And if you feel like you need kind of protection to move, you can put a blanket on top of you or something that's weighted. Sometimes feels really good. And actually, let's just put our hands on our body, just kind of grounding it. Just bring your hands on your heart. Any shaking is welcome on your head. And even bless those areas. Bless the areas that you're touching. Allow any parts that want to move. My legs want to move. You can shake. Good. And even just put like some pressure. So pushing down. I'm pressing down into my thighs. And just kind of, am I on the planet? Just kind of feeling more parts of me that are maybe ready to soften. All right, we'll switch sides. So the right knee can be bent or straight, energizing through that right leg. And then the left knee will come in, and I'm going to reach behind my thigh and push away and straighten and push away at the same time and bend. And can you breathe into the resistance? And so how much resistance, we don't have to, tense up the neck. And I notice I'm doing that. So just kind of show us the area that we're playing with resisting. And can the rest of us, of the parts of us, be a bit softer? So just again, just bringing some pressure in, but not engaging, not allowing the pressure to emanate through the whole body. Good. And then we're just going to do that side to side movement. Side to side of the top leg, the left leg. The knee can be bent. It's perfectly wonderful to do it that way. And just notice the breath. And maybe a deeper breath wants to happen. And then we're going to internally and externally rotate. So just taking from the hip joint, the heel comes to the left, foot to the right, and just kind of reverse it from the hip where we store so much tension. Good. Good. And then we'll bend the knee or straighten it and take that knee out to the left any amount, and then cross it over any amount. We can even slow it down even more. When we slow the movement down, we have a chance to kind of see what's habitual. And taking it over, eyes open or closed. If there's shaking, welcome the shaking. And maybe a breath happens. One more time. And then bringing that leg, the legs to be bent or straight, and just again, just notice any changes. And then if you can, so if you're sitting, your feet are on the floor, knees bent. If you're lying down, you're going to bring both feet standing. And we're just going to kind of rock. Bring your weight to the heels and to the ball of the foot. Heels to the ball of the foot. And as you do that, just notice what other parts come along as you do that. Maybe it's just the heel and the foot. Maybe the legs are engaged. Maybe the pelvis. Maybe it goes all the way up to the head, arm. Maybe not. And one more time, let's just take that little movement from side to side and maybe extend an arm out. So as you twist over to the right, maybe your left arm comes out. And then to the left, your right arm, just super gentle, just beginning to wake up different parts of the body. Good. If you're on your back and you want to bring your knees in and give yourself a hug, you're welcome to do that. On your chair, explore a way to just give yourself a hug in any way. You can rock from side to side. And then we're going to bring your feet back down like you're standing. And we're going to begin to, and you can do the sitting as well, or if you want to stand up, you can stand up and bend your knees if you want more standing. So we're going to do a little bit more on our back, then we'll do one standing pose and then complete it. So we're going to just begin to arch your back, arch your lower back. And so you have space in, in the lower back. And so this is called anterior tilt. So your hips are tilting forward, space in the lower back, and then round, tucking it so that there's less space in the lower back. And just find that rhythm. So you're just gonna inhale and exhale, find your own rhythm of inhale and exhale. So tucking and making space. And then maybe as you tuck your tail, you press down through your feet and your hips lift, and maybe not. And begin to feel the arms wherever you are, and the neck. And we want space in your neck. So you're just going to move, tucking and arching. And so we don't want to have any pain in the neck. We want to allow for the natural curve of the neck. Good. So arching and tucking it as much as you like. And again, if it feels uncomfortable, maybe if you're bed, put a blanket over you. A vulnerable kind of movement here. Good. And then we're going to turn this into a circle. So we're going to, as you tuck your tail, maybe that's 12 o'clock, and then bring your hips over to the right. And I think we did this last time, maybe with the clock over to 3 o'clock. Then as you arch it, you're going to move towards 6 o'clock. And then just kind of have that circle. You can go super slow. And just try to hit the numbers, even if you're not even really moving that much, just kind of go through the clock. This is from Feldenkrais movement, and this attaches to all the major muscle groups right around the pelvis, and just continue moving in that circle, and then just notice, what do I omit? What number am I omitting? And let's maybe slow it down a little bit. And there's no right or wrong way to do this. But what else can be involved in this movement? And let's go in the other direction. So going back in time. And then just kind of hang out in those places that feel stuck. And you're welcome to press down and lift up as you move as well. So you can keep your hips low. You can press down through your feet and bring your hips high. You can super slow it down. You can go faster. And then as you make your circle, you can reverse it one more time. Can your head get involved? Go in the other direction. So maybe the head goes in the opposite direction, or it just kind of moves along. The arms. And then just silently, just come to stillness and see if there needs to be movement. And we can contain the body by just hugging it again anytime. Just bringing some boundary. Good. And just notice if there's a bit more room to breathe here. Again, just rock from side to side. You can, if you're, you can turn more of your torso if you're sitting as well. Last little piece here. Just again, just come onto the ball of the foot and the heel and just notice if there's any difference, if it's the same. Just kind of noticing what it feels like for you. We'll do a last little piece before we do our one standing pose. So we're just going to inhale your arms up as you lift your hips up. And exhaling, hips down, arms down. If you are sitting, just play with it. Maybe lifting the knee a little bit. If you're sitting on the chair, lifting hips up, arms up, and then bringing it back down. And finding a little rhythm there. Good. So just inhaling. And can they meet down at the same time? If you're lifting legs, let the legs meet down at the same time. Shake that out. We'll do one more little movement here. So I'm going to take your right arm and right leg up. The knees can be bent or straight. You can do this sitting as well. And then bring it back down. And just bring it up, same side, and down. And maybe staying here or lifting the hip up. Inhaling up, exhaling down. And wherever you are, begin to feel some strength through the heel. And some power, some internal power through the muscles. And we'll just switch to the other side. So a lot of times, especially in trauma, certain muscles didn't get activated, and we'll explore some of this in the further classes of kind of bringing online certain muscle groups that maybe didn't get activated at different times in life. So opposite arm and leg, down leg. And this is just good to get the brain going. So connecting the right and left brain. You can do this as well if you want to lift our hips up and down. And if they're shaking, welcome shaking. We love shaking. And then just before we come up to standing, just take a moment here, and any movement, any free movement, any sound. You can even do like a na 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 la 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 la. Just notice what that feels like in your body. And if you are on your back, just come on onto the right or left side. Left side is a bit more activating, right side is a bit more calming. And then just come on up slowly, super slow. And we'll come to a standing pose if you want to. And you can also totally be seated. So just shift this. So you can see me standing. And we're just going to do a balance pose. So balance is a great pose to do when we're in freeze, because we have to engage these muscles to kind of move forward. So we'll do a tree pose today, and you're welcome to put your back on a wall or hold onto a chair. And so you're going to put weight on the left foot, and your right foot, you can even bend it and come onto like a kickstand, or bring your foot a little higher on your body, above or below the knee, wherever feels right for you. And just begin to notice all those muscles of the foot begin to engage. You can take your palm to the heart, it's grounding. You can always bring your foot down. And you can also explore taking your arms up You can explore taking your arms out like this is my boundary with the hands out and just notice what that feels like. So just explore a couple of different movements. What feels right, like I am here right now. And we'll switch to the other side. So just shake that out. And the other side. So again, putting weight in that leg. And again, using support, any support. You can bring your foot anywhere in your body. You can bring your hands anywhere in your body. And this is a tricky one. Maybe for a moment, close your eyes if that feels appropriate. And just kind of notice all that movement. And hands on the heart feels more grounding, or find a place that feels grounding, maybe extending your arms out, maybe setting your boundary for the day. And then we'll bring it to a close. We'll just close together in any position. You can stay standing. You can bring your, come to a seated position. So wherever you are, just take a moment to notice how you're feeling. And just compassionately notice the breath. Notice if there's a little more grounding. There's a possible to give weight a little more into the earth. And hopefully, just maybe getting a sense of the strength, some areas of that we're more able to strengthen so that you can expand a bit more today. We could, one more support, open up more into the day. Final review of what can soften the pelvis, the jaw, the eyes, back of the head. The belly can just stick out. And in your own time, we'll end together. We can chant an Om if you like to, or love, or just listening. And the O part is more activating, and the part is more calming. So whatever part you need, if you want to chant that. So we'll close together. So inhaling. Om. Thank you so much. The light in me sees the light in you.